What's up guys, my name's Brandon and another year, another massive battery life comparison video. So just as tradition here on the channel, we're going to be comparing the battery life between the brand new iPhone 11, 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, the iPhone XR, the XS Max, the iPhone X, and the iPhone 8 Plus. So this year, Apple put a big emphasis on the added battery life in the new iPhones, especially the Pro models right here. They claim that the iPhone 11 Pro offers up to 4 hours more of battery life than the iPhone XS, and that the iPhone 11 Pro Max offers up to 5 hours more battery life than the iPhone XS Max right here. And then Apple does also claim that the iPhone 11 here will last up to 1 hour longer than the reigning battery champ, the iPhone XR. So those are some pretty bold claims there. We're going to be putting those claims to the test in this video. So let's go ahead and lay out the battery specs and get to work. So starting from left to right, we have the iPhone 8 Plus here, which has a 2691 milliamp hour battery. Then we have the iPhone X right here with a 2716 milliamp hour battery. Then we have the iPhone XS Max with a 3174 milliamp hour battery. Then the iPhone XR with a 2942 milliamp hour battery. Then we have the iPhone 11 here with a 3110 milliamp hour battery. Then we have the iPhone 11 Pro with a 3046 milliamp hour battery. And finally, we have the iPhone 11 Pro Max with a massive 3969 milliamp hour battery. And then of course over here we do have the iPhone XS as our stopwatch. So as you can see here, every single one of these phones is currently plugged in and currently fully charged at 100%. We do also have Do Not Disturb turned on. We have no SIM card in any of the phones. We have background app refresh off. We have Bluetooth off. We have Do Not Disturb on. And we're also going to set the brightness to the exact same on all devices. So, hey Siri, set brightness to 60%. All right, so there we go. I hope you guys didn't get nightmares from all those Siris talking to you right there. So you can see we have the brightness set the exact same on all devices, same settings set on all devices. That way there are no discrepancies. I did also turn off notifications for applications that would possibly be sending me notifications. And one other thing I'm gonna check is the battery health. So we are going to check the battery capacity on all these devices just so you guys know everything before we go into this test. So we're gonna go to battery here on all. So of course we have 100% on all three of the iPhone 11s. We also have 100% on the iPhone XR, 94% here on the XS Max, 93 on the iPhone X, and 97 on the iPhone 8 Plus. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is watch a 4K video on YouTube. All right, so we have the exact same video loaded up on all devices, and what we're gonna do is press play on all of them, and then after we press play, we're going to unplug the devices and let them play in full screen, and right once I hit play on all devices, we will start the stopwatch. All right, so as you guys can see, we're just over an hour and 45 minutes into this battery test, and I'm gonna go out and check the battery percentage of all of these devices. So let's go ahead out to the iPhone 8 Plus, and we are at 82% on the iPhone 8 Plus. On the iPhone X here, we're at 86%. On the XS Max, we're at 88%. On the iPhone XR, we're also at 88%. On the iPhone 11, we're at 89%. The 11 Pro, we are at 92%, and the 11 Pro Max, we are at 94%. So we are in order, nothing too surprising just yet, but now we're gonna try to get that battery down even more. So what we're gonna do is shoot a 4K video for about 30 to 40 minutes on all these devices. All right, so you can see there we have recorded for over 30 minutes on all devices. So what we're gonna do is stop the recording on all of these, and then we're gonna flip it around to the front-facing camera just so we could get a little bit of something in frame here, and also just wear down that battery a little bit more, doing something that you may do in your regular usage. All right, so we've been recording with the front-facing camera for about 20 minutes now, so we're just gonna go ahead and stop on all of these and check on our battery percentage. So let's see where we're at. With the iPhone 11 Pro Max, we are at 78%. On the 11 Pro, we're at 72%. On the 11, we're at 67%. On the XR, we're at 68%. On the XS Max, 67%. On the iPhone X, we're at 61%. And on the iPhone 8 Plus, we're at 57%. So it's very interesting to see the iPhone 11 fall behind the iPhone XR and the iPhone XS Max here. Because if you remember, Apple claimed that the iPhone 11 is going to get 1 hour longer battery life than the iPhone XR, but it's not really looking that way yet. Of course, it's still early on in this battery test, but still, we'll have to keep testing and see how it performs. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit of gaming. So we're gonna go ahead and play Subway Surfers on all devices here. All right, so we've done a little bit of gaming here. I've gone back and forth on all devices, just playing through until I die on one device, then I just move on to the next device for the same amount of time. So let's go ahead and check on the battery percentage before we move on to the next task. So we're at 51% on the iPhone 8 Plus, 57% on the 10, 63 on the XS Max, 65 on the XR, 63 on the iPhone 11, 70 on the 11 Pro, and 75 on the 11 Pro Max. So once again, the iPhone 11 is falling behind the iPhone XR. This is supposed to get at least 1 hour more of battery usage in a day, but it's not looking like the case here. Meanwhile, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is just absolutely dominating this test so far. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit of web browsing. So we're gonna open up Safari on all devices and go to the same websites, do the exact same thing on all devices. So starting off first with dailyiFix.com, you can see here we are on the exact same website. We're just going to go through here, just kind of scroll and click around a little bit on some of these websites just to drain that battery a little bit, and also kind of just emulate what real world usage would be like things that you would actually do in real life when you're using these phones. All right, so we did a little bit of web browsing. Now we're going to go ahead and run a GFX benchmark test. So this is just mostly to drain the battery, but of course that's the whole point of this video. I know you're not going to do that in your everyday usage, but the point of this video is to drain these batteries just to see which one lasts longer and how much longer they actually last. So we're going to go into GFX Bench here on all devices. We have GFX Bench Metal right here. This is also the application I use for my speed tests here on the channel. All right, so we just finished up the benchmark test on all devices. So let's go ahead and give you guys an update on the battery percentage of every one of these devices. So we're at 35% on the iPhone 8 Plus, 48% on the 10, 45% on the XS Max, 51 on the XR, 48 on the 11, 54 on the 11 Pro, and 61 on the 11 Pro Max. And it seems like with every test, the iPhone 11 is falling behind the iPhone XR even more. Meanwhile, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is still the winner so far. So now we're going to move on to opening up some social media applications, just going around in social media apps, just basically trying to emulate real world usage. All right, so we're gonna start recording on all devices for about 20 minutes here in 4K. And then after that, we're gonna move on to more YouTube videos. So we're gonna watch more YouTube videos until the battery completely drains on all devices. That's gonna be the final test. I am also going to alter the brightness a little bit. So we're gonna go up to 75%. Gradually, and then up to 100% once it gets closer to dying. Alrighty, so we're approaching the 5-hour mark here, and you can see we have the infamous low battery alert on 2 phones, and you may not expect one of them. So of course, the iPhone 8 Plus, but then the iPhone XS Max also is down to 20%. So let's go ahead and close out of these and stop the recording on all devices and check in on the battery percentage here. Starting over here with the Pro Max, we are at 45%, and on the Pro, we're at 35%. On the 11, we're at 30%, the XR at 33%, the XS Max at 20%, the 10 at 23%, and then the iPhone 8 Plus, I'm still not used to that, is actually down to 10% now. And down goes the iPhone 8 Plus at around 5 hours and 20 minutes. So it's going pretty much just as expected so far, with the iPhone 8 Plus finishing in last as expected. However, the iPhone XS Max was falling behind. So let's go ahead and get an update and see how everything is doing now. So the iPhone 10 and the XS Max are both at 11% right now. The iPhone XR at 25%, the iPhone 11 at 22%, the 11 Pro at 28%, and the Pro Max at 37%. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and keep this rolling, and we're gonna turn all devices up to 100% brightness now and go back to watching some YouTube videos. And down goes the iPhone XS Max in 6th place. So I did not expect that. I definitely expected the iPhone 10 to die before the iPhone XS Max. Not really sure what happened there, but let's go ahead and check in on all the other phones and see what percent we're at on them. So on the iPhone 10, we're at 1%. On the iPhone XR, we're at 12%. On the iPhone 11, 9%. The 11 Pro, 20%. And the 11 Pro Max at 24%. And down goes the iPhone 10, just a couple minutes after the iPhone XS Max for 5th place. And over 30 minutes later, down goes the iPhone 11. So yes, the iPhone 11 died before the iPhone XR, coming in 4th place here in this battery test. So let's go ahead and check out the percentage of the XR. So the XR is at 1% right now, and the 11 Pro is at 12%, the 11 Pro Max at 14%. So the 11 Pro Max is doing pretty well here in the home stretch. And man, after I just picked up that iPhone 11, that thing definitely got hotter than any of the 3 other phones that I picked up. So it'll be interesting to see if the 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max are as hot as the iPhone 11 was. That's very interesting there. It's like abnormally hot. And down goes the iPhone XR a few minutes later, about 5 minutes later there, coming in 3rd place. And I'll tell you what, after picking this iPhone XR up, it feels just like all the other phones. For some reason, the iPhone 11 got abnormally hot. It was extremely hot when I picked it up after it died. And down goes the iPhone 11 Pro in 2nd place. So we got about 7 hours and 32 minutes of on-screen time. Meanwhile, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is at 4%. So we're just gonna run it until it goes to 0. And finally, down goes the iPhone 11 Pro Max at about 7 hours and 46 minutes. So almost 8 hours of usage, and it got well over 2 hours more than the iPhone 8 Plus from just a couple of years ago. So definitely some fantastic results here from the Pro models. A little bit of a letdown from the iPhone 11 since the iPhone XR did beat it out. And by the way, an update on the heat. The heat was only coming from the iPhone 11. The Pro models did not get as hot as the iPhone 11. This was by far the hottest phone at the end when it died. So I'm not sure if I have like a defective model and it's just mine. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have an iPhone 11, if you notice it getting hot after charging it or just after using it for a while. All right, so just as a recap, we're gonna go over the length of time that all these iPhones lasted. I put them in order just from old to new, and I pretty much figured that they would finish in that place, but to my surprise, they did not. So let's just go from left to right. So we had the iPhone 8 Plus coming in at 5 hours and 22 minutes. The iPhone 10 is next at 6 hours and 2 minutes. Then we had the iPhone XS Max, which underperformed compared to the iPhone 10, coming in at just about 6 hours. Then we had the iPhone XR at 6 hours and 39 minutes. Then we had the iPhone 11 at 6 hours 34 minutes. So again, very underwhelming results there from the iPhone 11. Then we had the iPhone 11 Pro at 7 hours and 32 minutes. And then finally the Mac Daddy, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, coming in at 7 hours and 46 minutes. Of course, it does have the biggest battery of any of the phones here, so that was kind of expected. But of course, a lot of things were expected. I'm sure you guys just wanted to know exactly how much longer these phones could actually last compared to one another. Now, by the way, if you're wondering why the battery did not last as long as it did in last year's battery test, that's because this year I decided to do more like real life usage, like gaming, web browsing, watching multiple videos, clicking on things, instead of just, video recording and watching YouTube videos like I did last year. I wanted to get a more realistic read on how long these batteries will last when you actually use them, doing tasks that you would actually do throughout the day. So that's pretty much gonna do it for this battery test. I hope you guys did enjoy it. That was almost 8 hours of recording, so I really hope you guys do appreciate this, and if you do appreciate at least my time, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also leave a comment down below with your thoughts on everything in this battery test. Did anything underperform? Did something do better than you thought? Let me know what you're thinking down there in those comments below. You guys know I like to be interactive down there and reply to you as well. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this, I will be doing this next year as well with the new iPhones. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I also do camera comparisons, speed tests, all that fun stuff here on the channel. So yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.